All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoy that. That is Holland, Love with Your Life. All right, guys. I hope you guys are doing awesome today. I missed you guys on last Wednesday because they had a telethon. So I am back with you today. Super, super happy. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about dealing with people, whether it is coworkers, family members, kids, whatever the case is. Sometimes it's not sometimes. Oftentimes, as Christians, it is so difficult dealing with people because, to some degree, if we push that Christianity aside, when we deal with problematic people, people that bother us, people that frustrate us, sometimes it just feels good to just pop off at the mouth and just say whatever you want out of your mouth. So if someone says something snarky to you, you say something snarky back. If someone curses you out, you curse them back, you just go toe for toe, tit for tat. And in the, our flesh always just wants to do that. Our flesh always wants to one up, or put people in their place or totally just correct them and shut them down. But as Christians, we don't have that opportunity to do that. Actually, we do, but we are not supposed to take that opportunity. What do I mean? Now, before Christianity, it was so easy for me to just act ugly towards people that got on my nerves or frustrated me. They said something, I'd just say whatever. I would just unleash on them just a string of words that were not edifying or uplifting, and I looked bad in the process, but I didn't feel that, right? So as a Christian, now, if I were to do that, and I have done that as a Christian, as a new Christian, when I let that old nature creep up, but I started to feel something different this time. When I got into that confrontation, that argument, and I let the old nature come on me and just act like old Jessica, I felt bad. I felt conviction about acting ugly. Now, if you are a Christian and you don't feel conviction about acting ugly, if you don't have any conviction about just being ugly, cursing people out, belittling people, making them feel small, whatever it is, if you don't have any conviction about that, something is wrong. Something is wrong. 9 times out of 10, our walk isn't matching our talk. We say we're Christian and we do this and we go to church and yes, I read my Bible, but there's something that is not lining up, because if we are following God, I'm not saying that we're going to be perfect, but if we're following God, we're going to have that conviction on the inside of us that just gives us that check in our spirit that says, you know what, something is wrong with what I said, or you know what, it's starting to rub me the wrong way. It used to not, but now that thing just really just bothers me and I feel bad for acting ugly. Okay. So now let's take it to work. Okay, guys, dealing with ungodly people in the workplace. How frustrating is that? Right. Because we want to sometimes we just got that thing on the tip of our tongue and we just want to unleash it. But God's like, hold your tongue. Hold your tongue. Turn the other cheek. How frustrating is that to silence yourself when you just want to stand up and defend yourself? But God's like, you know what? Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Do it my way and I got your back. Because you know what? This whole thing is not just about us. It's about the people around us, because God doesn't just want to save you, but he wants to save everyone around you. So when we humble ourselves, and when someone says something and we hold our tongue and we say nothing back, God has that opportunity to show them, you know what? Look at that person. That person didn't say anything. They could have said something back to me, because they usually do, but they said nothing. I wonder why. And God has the opportunity to work in their heart in a way that is productive and edifying for them so that they begin to change. But when we stoop to someone else's level and we just start to let that old nature just come upon us and we just act ugly or say whatever, or belittle people, or we're snarky, or we're passive aggressive, that's just as bad, guys. We look like hypocrites because that other person is going, yeah, and they're Christian. Look at them. They ain't Christian. They act just as ugly as I do. How are they Christian? Right? So for us, we're like, oh, but they provoked me. They provoked me to anger. Like, why can't they just grow up? Why can't they just get it together? But you know what? As a Christian, we are called to be the bigger person. I like what it says here in Psalms 41. Let's start at verse 7. It says, all my enemies whisper together against me. That sounds like the coworkers, right? Especially in the break room. It says, they imagine the worst for me, saying, a vile disease has afflicted him. He will never get up from the place where he lies. Even my close friend, someone I trusted, one who shared my bread, has turned against me. Man, how bad is it when not only your coworkers or the people around you, the people in your extended family or whoever's around you turn against you, but when your own personal close friends or whoever, when they turn against you, right? How frustrating is that? But God says, I got your back. Like, if you do it my way, I have your back. It's not about you understanding how God is going to fix the problem. It's not about you understanding how God is going to convey to the other person whatever needs to be conveyed so that you are vindicated, because it's not about you vindicating yourself. God says, I got you, just trust me. But we have a hard time trusting in God when he tells us to be quiet, to zip it, to not say anything, because maybe we've already said something. You know what? I know that this is an issue and this is what you've heard, but it's not true. Let me correct you in that. And sometimes people listen to you when you're saying that, and there's nothing wrong with correcting people when they have a misconception about something that you have done or something that you're thinking or feeling, whatever it is, right? There's nothing wrong with clarifying those things, right? But when you do it, you got to let it go, because that other person has the option to take what you say and be like, okay, all right, or to believe what the other people are saying about you. And a lot of times people still believe what the other people say about you, because you know what? You can't expect for people to follow God. Maybe that other person is a Christian, but they aren't walking in the things of Christ. They aren't walking in the fruits of the Spirit. Just come on, like reading the Bible, spending time with God. Those things will change the way you act on a daily basis. But a lot of us aren't doing that. So when it comes to stuff like that, it's okay to speak your piece in a professional manner, not in anger, being calm about it, right? And if that person receives it positively and says, okay, all right, good. If they don't, you have to let God fix it. You have to let God vindicate you. You have to let God deal with the situation. And sometimes the outcome isn't what you want. Sometimes it is years down the line that a person goes, man, I feel horrible for how I treated that person. I feel horrible for firing that person because of just gossip and drama that I believed. But I was so just full of gossip and drama that I fed into that negativity. If you end up in a situation so where you are let go of your position because of false allegations or whatever the case is, and you were so frustrated because you're like, God, where were you in that mess? You weren't there to vindicate me. You weren't there to have my back. I'm left out in the wind looking for another job. Don't even worry about it, because God will lift you up in his timing. He will open up a door that no man can close. And sometimes he's like, you know what? I just need you out of that place. And also another part of it is what happens sometimes in this world is because of the choices that we make. So we have to live with our choices, but it doesn't mean that God won't vindicate you. It doesn't mean that God won't open up another door, an opportunity that's even better for you. I hope that makes sense. So if we take a look at ourselves, let's put that back on ourselves. Have you ever done anything to anyone that you regret and you feel bad about? Right? And so you come to God later on, maybe it's years later, and you're like, God, I am so sorry. I apologize for what I did. Boom, he forgives you, right? But what about that other person that you did wrong? What about that person that got fired because you spread gossip? What about that other person that had to deal with the repercussions of your gossip or your assumptions that you did not have strong evidence to back you up in, but people believe that gossip? Guess what? God opened a door for that other person, and you are not the last say-so in their life, because when you mess up, God will still help someone else. Does that make sense? sense? So it doesn't matter who's against me. As long as I know that God is for me, I'm good. It doesn't matter if I am let go of a position or I don't get that opportunity because this person stole it. Can't nobody steal anything that God has for you. God will open up every door that needs to be open. And the awesome thing about this process is that we learn along the way. We learn that, you know what? I need to be more humble because I see how gossip plays a negative, super negative role in people's lives. So let me look in my life and figure out where I have been gossiping, where I have been doing the same things that I'm complaining other people, complaining that other people are doing about me. Where in my life do I need to check myself? We learn through all the stuff that's going on, guys. So I am glad that I go through all this stuff. I am glad that I go through all the drama because I use it to grow. I use it to strengthen me. I use it to allow God to build my character, to build my integrity, to build my focus, to build me in every area that I need to be built up to be able to endure this race. So whatever problems that you're going through, let God use it to build you up, to strengthen you. Don't worry about man. Man is not God. Man is not your last say-so. Whatever door God has for you, it's for you. Don't worry about the drama. Don't worry about all the stuff that's going on. Give it to God. God's got it, all right? So just have faith and don't worry about the situation. Don't worry about the circumstance. Just trust in Him, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that little quick talk. And if you're in the Mercedes area down here in Texas, come on, stop by the high school for Fields of Faith tonight, guys.